Right, welcome back to the Total Domination model. We're up to content creation and production. All right, let's talk content. Okay, in the last video, and if you haven't seen that, go watch that because we'll talk about the content plan. And I've shown you these before. Here's our content plans. Doesn't matter, that's a neuroscience one. Here's our arthritis solution one. We've even got a family wellness content plan. If you would like a copy of that content plan, message me below. We will get you a copy. It's easier to work from a full page than a blank page. But I'm going to come back and use the arthritis solution because it's not just the content plan, it's the content creation and the content production. And this is an imperative. If you're going to have omnipresence, if you are going to have total domination, you need the content out there into the community. So let me talk through that process. Now, there are many different ways you can do this. When you have your content plan, as I said, I spoke before, you can write a blog, a big 1500 word blog, some additional supportive blog posts and videos. And that's in and of itself fairly easy, but I've got a different suggestion, a way of producing massive content with minimum effort. And that is start over here with a workshop, a seminar, whether you do it in your practice or whether you do it in an outbound event or whether you do it where online, wherever and however you do it, you decide to write a seminar, a workshop, a presentation, a webinar. And again, what I do, this is for massive content production, okay, is I take the 4 key questions about any topic area. Now I can do this on arthritis, and I'm going to go grab these in a moment and talk through each of those 4 points just to give you an understanding. But here I am in arthritis. So I've got 4 points I want to talk through. Here I say, what is arthritis and how do I know if I've got arthritis? So that's a really important question for people who have arthritis and they want an answer for it. Then I break that down. So that's like a slide. Okay, what's arthritis? How do I know? And then I'm going to talk on that point. Then I come here, the arthritis signs and symptoms. That's another slide. The different types of arthritis. That's another slide. The cause of arthritis. Well, it's another slide, and here are the myths of arthritis. Again, another slide. And when I talk on each of those points, I can talk on each of those points for half an hour, for 20 minutes, for 10 minutes, or for 5 minutes. And ultimately what I want to do, if it's a 30-minute presentation, well, if it's a 30-minute presentation, all of that should be about 5 minutes. So that's 1 minute per slide per question. 1 minute per slide per question for the next 5, for the next 5, and the next 5. That means 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, plus my introduction, plus my conclusion and call to action. It's a 30-minute presentation. Obviously, if you want to do something more substantive, you can do 45 minutes or an hour, and so you've got 10 minutes per each one of those questions and each part of that content delivery. But what I have done here in terms of the content plan, I've utilized that to create the framework from which I want to share the message, and now I want to create the basis for where I'm going to do content production. Now, as I said, you can write the blogs. If you're a great writer, that may be effortless. Otherwise, like me right now, I can speak off the top of my head as I've been doing throughout all of these videos on an area that I have expertise, knowledge and skills. Now, I know you are exactly the same. If I put you on a stage in front of people in your practice, the patients that are there, and say, hey, tell them about what's chiropractic, how chiropractic is going to help and benefit them, why they should see a chiropractor, what it is that they'll experience when they go to a chiropractor, what way chiropractic is going to change their spine, their nervous system, their health and their well-being. You'll talk for hours if given the opportunity. And then if I said, well, what's your table talk? What comes up in your conversations? What takes place in the room that you want to educate them on? How do you explain to them the innate intelligence of the body? How do you explain to them the inherent healing potential of their body, that their body can self-heal, self-organize and self-regulate? You can talk for days. So break it down into points. What do I want to say? What's my workshop? What's my presentation? And then start writing that. And then create a PowerPoint slide deck. You don't need that anymore because now you're looking at the camera, you're up there and you're in your presentation, you click through the slides and you start talking. You share your best. You just get that information out of your head, from your heart, both into the community, into your patients, and this message profoundly starts to shape their thinking, their understanding of chiropractic. They commit to care, they love chiropractic, boom, job done. Now you've recorded that. You grab somebody, one of your staff, one of your family, a friend. If you have to pay somebody to come and video the process, you record that seminar. And here's the production plan. You've now got that framework that we looked at, all of those questions. You record it and have it transcribed. You go onto upwork.com or some other transcription service and you have it all typed up, and then you get an editor who's also a ghostwriter, and you say, can you turn my presentation into a major blog at the front part of the first point that I speak about, and all those smaller points that I break it into, can you create supportive blogs? And then you look at the framework and you create videos like I'm doing here, short 5-minute grabs, and then you have your major video broken into minor videos and then smaller videos again, and then you create additional content. You have it put into a framework of this content plan that we've spoken about, and you have it produced by either yourself or a support team, or you outsource it to people, and then you start piecing it together, bringing it together. You put it on your website, you put it on your YouTube channel, you put it on your Facebook page, and you start sharing this information and resharing this information, and then altering it and modifying it, adapting it, enhancing it, improving it, putting infographics together. And when you do that, your content production gets out into the community. You put it on an email to share with your patients what you are doing on each of these platforms, and you start to build a presence. You start to create your profile. You begin a deep dive into the sharing of your passion, your message, your purpose. And it doesn't build momentum overnight. It begins the journey. And you do this week after week, month after month. And it may take a year. It may take even longer. But it's a long game we're talking about here. And then when you do that, the production and not just the production of this, but the distribution of this begins to put you in front of your audience with a message that they need to hear, with an appreciation for what you have shared. And the result? Boom! You're out there changing the world, one viewer, one listener, one reader at a time, and it's only then a matter of time before the snowball builds. The momentum results in you being recognized for the authority that you are, having the impact that you deserve to see take place in your practice, with your patients, out there in the community. And so that begins a snapshot of a production plan. And if you can begin that journey here and now, your exercise is get that content plan clear. Get that content plan clear. Sorry, I'm going to make that really clear for you. And then start to work out where you're going to contact people, to start recording it, to start transcribing it, to put it into play, to upload it to each of those platforms, to edit snippets of the video, to write it out and then edit the blog posts themselves. All of that comes together by outsourcing, by getting support, by having a team around you who's dedicated to sharing the information out there within the community. That's your homework. Build your team, get clear on your process, go do this. The world needs your message.